Even in the remote highlands of Papua New Guinea, black kites are attracted to signs of human activity. A fire started deliberately. The kite seeks a banquet of charred animal remains. It has only a casual relationship with people. The smoke conceals a more enduring partnership. The bond between people and dogs is older than any other. From the dog's perspective, humans appear as members of the pack. Fires to encircle and flush out wild pigs. Dogs and people joined forces when the ancestral wolf pursued the same prey as early hunters. Today, the spoils are shared. Larger mammals are food for people. Small mammals are the dog's reward. Out the sow as the fire penetrates. Her piglets remain a valued prize. Although snatched from her mother, the piglet has a pampered life ahead. A new foster mother showers it with the same care and affection she gives her own children. The domestication of men. The cassowary chick develops a similar attachment to the men of the tribe. The maternal bond was transferred to the hunter when this chick's mother was killed. For over a year, the imprinted bird will follow its foster parent wherever he goes. The man is equally attached to his foster child, but when the bird reaches maturity and becomes difficult to handle, the bond will be broken. The cassowary is then destined to be sacrificed, its feathers and bones used as ceremonial decorations. Ducks also imprint, and in Bali, people use this instinctive behavior to exert control over the flock. Ducklings reared without their mother transfer their allegiance to the duck shepherd and to each other. This bonding creates a cohesive flock that is easily led to forage in the paddy fields. Ducks were brought under human control thousands of years ago as rice was being cultivated in China. All domesticated animals have social behavior that can be influenced by humans. Most are flock creatures. The ancestral mouflon raided crops of early farmers in the Middle East. Soon humans acted as substitute herd leaders. In Italy, some shepherds are helped in this role by a hand-reared ram trained to respond to commands. Other sheep follow this dominant ram, which acts as the shepherd's interpreter. This convenient partnership has a threat: a wolf crossed with a stray dog. But the wolf hybrid has an unexpected opponent. A dog in sheep's clothing. The Marima dog blends perfectly with the flock. When the sheep are threatened by wolves, they retain much of their behavior. The sheepdog uses wolf hunting techniques to encircle the flock as it rounds them up. But on North Ronaldsay, this is no ordinary sheepdog. And these are no ordinary sheep. Like the wild mouflon, they scatter when chased. Instead of herding, the sheepdog has to hunt them down. These sheep haven't developed the flocking response of modern breeds, so the dog reacts with a wolf-like attack. The thick fleece prevents damage, and the dog is trained to suppress the wolf's killing bite. This yearly roundup in the Orkney Islands takes the ewes to green pasture before lambing. Even these ancient sheep have changed from the wild form. They're docile and compliant animals compared with the mouflon. The cow's ancestor was the fearsome aurochs. Like Indian cows today, it was revered by early farmers. Tamer varieties were attracted to crops and were bred to become docile. Eventually, they were able to replace human labor. Once they submitted to human will, the respect for them began to diminish. An animal easily yoked to a cart could readily be exploited. In most places, the reverence disappeared completely. The fierce and unpredictable wild water buffalo underwent a similar change. Its tameness is reinforced by castration. Such animals are easily dominated. These races originated when teams of harvesters competed to bring back rice from the fields. They're now a regular event. Crop farmers lost reverence for their cattle, but for people whose survival depends on their herds, it's a different matter. In Sudan, cattle only survive here because of human companions. At the day's end, they return from pasture to find them. The Dinka could not exist without the milk, blood, and meat they provide. The cattle regard these people as dominant herd members. The Dinka fulfill the cattle's every need. The cows confidently leave their human partners to babysit while they're at pasture. They're equally happy to allow humans to share their milk. Each ox has his own Dinka companion who lavishes special attention on him. A beautiful ox will even help the man attract a wife. Further south, the cattle of the Kenyan savannah also have devoted human partners. Cheetahs that could take a young calf ignore the herds when the Maasai are present. Lions pose a more formidable threat. The cattle are vulnerable because they no longer keep watch as they graze. They rely instead on the Maasai, who take over the role of vigilant herd leader. The sight or smell of the Maasai are enough to deter the lions during the day. At night, thorn bush corrals are needed to keep them at bay. The Maasai seldom slaughter a cow. They live mainly on milk and harmless letting of blood. They're more protector than predator. At night, the cows of the Dinka listen to songs composed in their honor. In a world where partnership is the key to survival, the songs proclaim this significance. Camels and the Tuareg of the Sahara survive together in an even more hostile. They are so perfectly adapted that despite domestication, they've hardly changed. Her calf still has to stimulate the flow before the camel can be milked like a cow. But the camels have taken to the pleasures of chewing tobacco. Sexual behavior also remains unchanged. The male signals interest by distending his inflatable palate. He regularly rounds up his harem. The Tuareg harness this instinct to keep the herd together. Camels can endure 3 months without water and have a phenomenal talent for sensing its presence. Reputedly able to smell the promise of rain 50 miles away. Camels feature in every aspect of Tuareg life, but they hear it differently. This festival involves human courtship in which the beauty of the camels plays a part. The camels of South America have equally close human partners. The llama's ancestors lived in small groups herded by a dominant male. Humans take over his role on the pastures of the high Andes. These llamas have been invited to a wedding. Under the influence of corn spirit, their drunken human partners present them with a bewildering experience. Llamas are so important to the Quechua people, they're integrated into all religious ceremonies. The death of an animal means more than just meat. Paradoxically, sacrifice embodies a deep respect, common to all cultures living closely with animals. As well as providing food, these creatures have spiritual significance for the Aymara people. Guinea pigs were first attracted to Andean villages 6,000 years ago. Their hearing reaches into the ultrasonic realm. But their conversations of over 20 different calls are clearly audible to us. Although free to leave the huts, they seldom do. Here there's easy food, and the only predators are human. Outside, they have many more predators. Their wild relatives have much shorter lives. The Aymara believe they possess supernatural powers, foretelling storms, warning of danger, even curing sick children. In other parts of the world, guinea pigs found a less complex role as pets. But pet keeping isn't confined to our society. Most cultures keep some animals for no other reason than company. These monkeys belong to the Arara people of Brazil. Each monkey has its own human companion. Our natural desire to foster animals drew many into domestication. Those that found a place in our homes became the most fortunate on earth. Treat us like another cat, even bringing back kills as though we were hungry kittens. They use their own odor signals as markers of community. Cheek glands secrete this scent as they rub against our legs. Cats have lived alongside us since they hunted mice in the Egyptian granaries, but we still inhabit separate worlds. Their color vision is poor, discerning hues only in close objects. Their hearing responds to a far higher pitch than ours. Changed our domesticated animals' appearance, their behavior remains much the same. Dogs use the signals of the wolf pack in their encounters. Dominant dogs raise their tails, not only as a visual sign, but to release scent from anal glands. Submissive dogs drop their tails to cut off this provocative odor. Scent marking is important in maintaining social position. In Bali, disputes arise mainly over offerings left by householders to appease evil spirits. Fights rarely last long. Each dog adopts its own human family. It defends the compound against most intruders, except truly dominant dogs. A puppy soon learns that offerings put out each morning are his easiest source of food. Dogs living as family pets are governed by the same wolf behavior, but don't always learn their position in our pack. Pampered dogs often believe they're dominant over humans. These top dogs make territorial claims. Particularly on areas which raise them to a human level. In Bali, dogs which act aggressively to humans are eaten. Here, the same behavior is often rewarded. Our devotion to dogs has its counterparts in Papua New Guinea. But the Huli people understand the nature of their animals, which are as intelligent as dogs. As they root around for earthworms, they act as living ploughs in the women's gardens. The contrast between their lives and those of our pigs could not be more striking. Our demand for a constant supply of cheap meat dictates machine-like efficiency in production methods. Pigs are chained in pens just large enough to hold them. Her snout only touches concrete and straw. It is so sensitive it can form an image by touch alone. When her piglets are ready to suckle, she calls to warm them before she lies down. The factory sow does the same, but to prevent any accidents to the piglets, a metal barrier keeps her away from them. In the small pen, fights among piglets are common. Their teeth and tails are clipped to minimize damage. These piglets have other distractions, and fights are rare. A pregnant sow is confined to a farrowing crate, which provides little stimulation. Her natural urge is to build a nest, but the extra space and bedding required would not prove cost-effective. She also has an enthusiasm. Together, they set about building her elaborate domed nest. When complete, this sow is denied these preliminaries. She cannot even turn to reach her newborn young. Our attitudes to livestock developed as we distanced ourselves from the animals we depend on for food. Unlike the Huli people, we reserve our concern solely for our pets. Our way of farming is now being questioned, but this caring way with animals, once shared by all humanity, is unlikely. How our changing attitudes and beliefs affect other animals is revealed in the next Life Sense.